Hello everybody, and this will be your Unit 2 Foundation video where I kind of go over what this unit's about, what we'll be covering, what we'll be discussing, and that type of thing. This is a 2-week unit, and so this is not going to be due for 2 weeks from today. I would state the date, except I plan to use this for multiple semesters, which means that will change. But just realize that as this opens, that this unit will last for 2 weeks. Okay, let's go into the actual unit and expand my area here. Okay, so this is what the unit looks like on the inside. Once again, this is Unit 2. I will stress again, if you are not going into the units and reading through the materials, you are going to miss something. So make sure you're always entering the unit through the Material tab and completing it there, and not just looking at the assignments on the side. That will not help you very much. Okay, so Unit 2, we're looking at today's students and addressing learners' individual needs. A lot of this is going to be going over the type of students, different diversities we'll see in our classrooms, as well as begin our discussion of diversifying, reaching other specific students' learning capabilities. If I stumble here, I'm sorry. I'm not going to restart it just because these do take some time. Just go with me. It would be the same way I would be talking to you in class. Okay, so in this unit, we will look at the different types of students that you will face as teacher candidates. We're going to talk about some sensitive subjects this week. We're going to look at racial and ethnic heritages. We're going to talk about socioeconomic status of students, language differences, attitudes about gender roles and responsibilities, sexual orientation, and bullying. And so along with that will be included some videos on the LGBTQ population. Please remember that as educators, we're going to have a diverse population of students coming in and talking to us. We can have our own beliefs on topics, and we still have to recognize how are we going to address students whose beliefs may differ than our own, because they'll be in our classroom and we cannot treat them differently. And so we're going to kind of start stretching into that area. It is also your responsibility to do an equitable education. So we're going to talk about equity and equality. And look, what does that mean? In the second chapter in the unit, we're going to look at varieties of ways students are exceptional. We're going to look at some research, look at some laws, and just kind of go over some of those characteristics and begin our discussion. It will not end, we'll discuss more in the future, but how we support students with disabilities that have been identified and supported. This first half, if you're a face-to-face student, we will be discussing more of the different types of students and equity and equality and Gardner's multiple intelligences. Next week we'll dive into some additional groups and get more into looking at the students with disabilities and such like that. So when I'm looking over this unit, step 1 is to watch this video. You don't see a video here because I'm recording it right now. So you always have a blank in the recording, but you'll see a video here when you enter the unit because that's what you're watching. Step 2, print and download your PowerPoints. I fully expect everyone to have their textbook. There is a limited number of chapters out on Google Books if you need to access that. However, you do need to get your textbook. If you do not have your textbook, these might help you try to achieve the assignments, but I am not giving extension for people who do not have their textbooks. The entire first chapter is out there. The next 2 chapters, these 2 chapters are not even due, as you can see my calendar here, until September 14th. And so by then you should be able to have completed the work. Do realize that for some of the stuff, the knowledge builder and some of the other things, you may not need all the chapters. So you could do some of the knowledge builder, maybe not all of it, but some of it without having the chapters read. Okay, knowledge check. I did change this a little bit, so you do need to just check that out. Here is the link. I think I linked it twice, but that's okay. I will go back and fix that. You should only see one when I come back. When you come in, You now need to score 70% or above, just the way the questions even out. I'm going to raise that up. So you need to do a 70 or above. 69 or below gets a 0 in the gradebook. 70 or above gets your 5 points for the knowledge check. Remember, you can go and do this as many times as you want. You just need to make sure that you're using the same first name, last initial, or first and last name, and your Hill College ID if it asks for, or email if it asks for an email. That will help me identify who you are. Then you will be looking at the knowledge builder for this, and like I said, this I'm not going to go into this one because it would show the people in the grade book, but this will have a series of 5 activities that you need to work through. So these are similar to things that we would do in class. For my online people, you will have more than my face-to-face people because some of your points and some of the activities will be done in class. Your application assignment, your knowledge application, this way is you're going to be looking and addressing in a reflective paragraph. So that means that you are thinking about your own life, your own personal experiences. If you don't have one that qualifies for this, I'll talk about this later. You're certainly allowed to go ahead and ask someone else and share that person's experience. So go ahead and sorry, I noticed another mistake. Go ahead and speak with someone else and interview them. So you're going to write a reflective paragraph from a personal experience that you had when you viewed an administrator or teacher or other school professional who showed bias towards a student based on race, socioeconomic status, or gender. It may involve a teacher calling only on a certain group, an experience of exclusion from an activity based on stereotypical roles, or any other factor. Describe the incident in detail. So I should be able to picture what occurred with your descriptive paragraph. And then write about how did that impact you and how it shaped your attitude towards equity, not equality, equity, in your future classroom. So make sure you're referencing equity, not equality. And the rubric is down here for you as a guide. Okay, and then your final piece down here is your final project information gathering. Remember, these are going to be little pieces that will make complete sense when you go to do your final project. And so for here, you're going to go, last week we looked at what you wanted to teach, so now you know what you want to teach. Now we're going to look at the where you might want to teach. So you need to look at 2 districts that you may want to teach in. When you graduate, you need to find their employment link and submit a link to both of the districts. So I should get 2 employment links. That's it. That's all I need is 2 links to an employment page for a district that you might want to work in. So when I click that link, I should go to available jobs. So I should be able to say, oh, I want to go apply for this kindergarten teaching job, or this substitute job, or this open pool job. Open pools are when they're just collecting applicants for a certain position. So that's all you need to do. You just need to give me 2 links to the job. Okay? And that's it. That's it for this week. So your builders are going to look at those different populations, your knowledge builders. Your knowledge application, you're discussing personal reflection on an experience you had. And then your final project, you're getting me those 2 links. Don't forget to do your knowledge check as well. And I will be seeing a bunch of you in class and then some of you online. Keep up the good work.